No, this time minute. Good evening, folks. Welcome back. Hope you're all doing fairly well and surviving the heat wave that we seem to be not having. So tonight we are back. These two still there. 4.5 years and I'm still going that way. You know what I mean? These two gentlemen, we've got the short chap, Liam Shand, and his buddy, start again, Barry Fairbairn from Highland Paranormal.
He's no shorter than me.
He's shorter than my daughter.
I'm shorter than most folk.
There's Sarah's actually going to be watching I'm a Celeb. I'm going to grass her in. You know what I mean? I don't care. She'd rather watch I'm a Celeb.
That's dreadful.
This, you know.
That's dreadful.
So she pops in. She pops in, she says hello, and then you know when people, I don't know that you get it in your podcast, Liam. People come in in the first kind of 5-10 minutes, they'll say hello, nice to see you guys, and then you don't hear from them again the entire show.
Yeah, I don't do that. No, I think our folk normally hang about unless we bore them to death, which does happen some evenings.
Well, that's well. You know, I've watched your show. I'm kidding, man. She's getting it. Can't come on. No, I will tell you. She is going to be watching I'm a Celeb, but for some reason, when there's more than one person sitting here, we get a hell of an echo.
Ah, right. Okay. Yeah.
Don't know why it is, but we are going to work on it for next year because we can't be bothered this year, basically. So we'll work on it for next year. You know, there's your other half in.
Yeah.
Good evening, dear. Hope you're keeping well. Sarah will be watching I'm a Celeb. But no, I know what you mean, Barry. The gentleman is quite short. We met him. We had the good fortune to meet up with him and his other half. I can't help it. See when I meet somebody that's shorter than me, because I'm not exactly gifted with height myself, you know.
Yeah.
I'm not exactly reaching. I'm not exactly reaching the top shelf myself. You know what I'm saying?
Vertically challenged.
Yeah.
Aye, exactly.
Yeah.
We're going to be upgrading ourselves with microphones and a mixer box thing. That's the technical term for it.
Oh, very
mixer box thing.
Mixer box thing, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we are.
That's high tech, Laura.
That is high tech mixer box thing.
Yeah.
And there's our lovely Laura in.
Hello.
I went height, Barry. You know, when I met him, I was like, stand up. You know, I'm standing up. You know, I'm standing on the stool. There's we. Eileen, I mailed you earlier on, though, if you wanted to jump in, but you never answered me. Probably the pub or something. I mean, I bet she'll mail me back now that I've pulled her up. Well, I'm not pulling her up. Couldn't pull me, Eileen? Eileen's too nice, isn't she?
Yeah.
Geez, peace, my brain's fried living with Scott. Nah.
Yeah, I can understand that.
I'm a harmless guy. I don't know. See what? I don't know. No idea, Eileen. I don't have a clue. You'll need to elaborate a wee bit on that one. I'm just going to check, see if she read my mail. 2 seconds. Talk amongst yourselves. You know.
That night's a fair drawn in, Barry, yeah?
Well, I'm in awe of the stunning conversation.
Yeah.
She didn't see the mail. That's fine, Doc. That's totally fine.
That's the right answer.
That's the right answer. You're a terrible. I know I'm crap. I don't give I'm crap. You know. If somebody comes on and lasts more than 30 minutes, I'm a happy man. You know what I mean? I don't care.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that.
Thank you very see that. You hear that? See what Barry says.
I said I wouldn't say that. I didn't say I didn't think it, but
Well, I just clicked onto that one there, Barry. Got a new laptop and it's frazzled my brain. Well, seemingly I frazzled Sarah's brain. I would be living there. You know what I mean? I have been driving her nuts the last couple of weeks with doing the house with the Christmas lights and that. I will admit.
I saw that. Yeah, looking good.
Thank you. So now it's finished. You know, I did have a tree outside made up of an old spider's web, but the storm kind of took care of that sort of thing. You know.
Right, Bert got it.
Aye. So I decided to improvise and put the lights inside. So, but enough about me. Let's talk about Liam's height. No, I'm kidding.
I keep drinking water. I hope I'll grow.
I'm getting Decky's doing
Tomorrow.
Decky's doing. Oh, you get your decorations out here, right? Aye.
Why not?
I'm Scottish and I didn't understand that. I had to read that twice. Well, the outside lights have been up for about 2 or 3 weeks. Right, the day after Guy Fawkes, actually. I decided to start putting the lights up. Why not, Barry? Do you know what I mean? The country's a miserable enough place, so let's get some light out there and sort of cheer people up and what have you.
Yeah.
There's too many miserable sods in this world, don't you think?
That's true.
Anyway, guys, it's very true. See the amount of you walk about, see the amount of door-faced people you see just walking about. You know, you want to go to your own granny's funeral, just listen to them, you know what I mean? It's, there's more than us, about 3,500 be actually. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Just watch out for the aeroplanes.
But I'm expecting. I don't know why I look at it. It's not our next door neighbour, right? He's an elderly gentleman. Not that I'm a young spring chicken myself, but it does cheer up Lawrence. There's somebody else that agrees with me. It's an elderly couple living next door. Nice enough couple, you know, great. You want to see the garden, but I keep waiting for the helicopter to land. They're right into gardening. Do you know what I mean? And Sarah will tell you if she wants to put it in the comments if she's not watching I'm a Celeb. You want to see the amount of lights they've got in their garden? No Christmas lights, just lights.
Right, yeah.
And you're 90. Well, the insults are coming great tonight. I'm a crap host and I'm 90 years old. We do not have a garden, but we put a lot of fairy lights. We put a lot of fairy lights today. Good stuff. So your house will be looking quite festive, Liam, as well.
It is today, yeah. As from tonight, it has been. So, a bit earlier than we normally do it, but we kind of thought, we're along the same lines. The world's a miserable place just now, so let's brighten it up a little.
Well, there's about six or seven houses, I think, in our kind of area that have all got their lights up and that. And you think, why not? See, people say it's too early. It's not too early. That's what I say to them. You know, you put them up when you feel like it. I don't think there is an official date, is there? You put your Christmas lights up.
No, just an official date for taking them down.
Aye, but you see,
but even that's debatable.
That is debatable. I was watching a thing. I actually stole the idea off of TikTok in the hall. I don't know why I'm pointing because you can't see it. But anyway, you hang the fairy lights for the ceiling. You know, and I was read this one guy's put a post up with it. He said he came home from work and his other half had done this with the lights and the baubles and stuff. He said, I'm going to keep it up all year round, but obviously I'll take the baubles off. So I thought, that's a good idea, that. So I might just leave ours up. You know what I mean? There's no Christmas balls. So exactly, Fleur. Exactly. 100% agree with you. So I might leave it. I don't buy the hooks. See the plastic hooks that stick to the wall? Don't buy them. They're crap.
There's your consumer advice for tonight. Get everything on this show.
Oh, you also, that's why we don't have a topic, because we can talk anything, you know, from paranormal to farming, basically, you know. And if people don't like it, then I'm a terrible host anyway, so I don't care.
It's all right. I'm short.
I know that. Like 3'2" or something last time you measured yourself. You know what I mean?
It's a few years since I've measured myself. I'm going there.
Hey, what? Hey, Joyce. This is a clean show, my man.
Hey.
Keep it.
Oh.
Keep it clean, politically correct, and all that crap.
Yeah, we're getting banned off YouTube.
I know. But at least it's Facebook. You'd be instantly banned. You know what I mean? So, anyway, paranormal. Aye, that's what you're talking about. Sarah's put up wee faces. Ireland's saying there's far too much hilarity here today. Sorry, Eileen.
Sorry. Okay.
You feel like you're getting into trouble, don't you?
I'm in trouble now. Yeah.
Why are you, Matthewson, why are you laughing, So like, serious face.
Come on, Barry, get with the program.
We'll get there, I knew it anyway. Well, less than I knew anyway. Right, serious face. Let's get down to business. I'm kidding on. Can't do it, sorry. What you guys been up to? Come on.
Nothing.
Fill your boots.
Nothing.
That ends that one then.
No. Joking aside, we've been really busy. We're actually doing nothing now because that's us kind of going right. That's it. Enough's enough. Weather's turning rubbish. We don't want to be traveling anywhere, so we're having a wee rest, as it were. We're still doing some private stuff, but we won't be out as a group investigating anytime soon. Though we do have a Christmas meal out in a few weeks' time, which might end up in a lot of carnage. There's certain spirits involved, from what I've been told. But no, we've been really busy. We can't tell you where we were because it's private, but we did 130 bedroomed hotel, which
130 bedrooms.
Yeah, it was with a really spooky basement.
I would love that. I'm saying it. I think to up with these comments up. Eileen saying if I didn't have Jim Jams on, I would come on and sort you lot out. Eileen,
come on, get on.
You want any of your secret, Eileen? I'll give my jammy bottoms on. Scott, be serious. Aye, right. I'm office, but I end up fighting.
That sounds like a story that's got to be shared.
Well, I'm glad that you asked. The basement is amazing. I would love to do a basement like that, but let's get back to this that you've asked now, Liam. Last weekend, Laura stayed with us. It was Sarah, Laura, and myself. She was at her auntie's. And so we decided to have a drink, right? So I had a can of beer, and I thought, I'm just not in the mood. You know the nights you have one can or one pint, I think, no, I'm not having this. I'm not in the mood. But Sarah and Laura had different ideas. So needless to say, they carried on, and there was a full bottle of pint gin involved, a bottle of Smirnoff Ice, and then there was a bottle of, I don't drink spirits. I like a whiskey, but I don't drink vodka. So there's a bottle of vodka there. No, I say was past tense. So Sarah ended up quite inebriated, and we've got a fan in our bedroom. We don't have these stand-up fans you get, and even the weather's freezing, we put it on. But Sarah I'm going to sound really posh here, right? We have an ensuite bathroom. I know. Posh or what? Anyway. So Sarah's tried to go. Sarah went, and then she attempted to go for the bathroom into the bedroom, and is right where the fan was. And I was in the living room, and I just heard this clatter. Laura heard it as well. Thought, what she done now? And we went in, and Sarah was tangled up in what used to be your fan, lying in a heap on the floor, steaming. Steaming's not the word. She smashed over. She says she's been doing Lego, the Harry Potter stuff. Was getting, I'm going to pronounce this wrong. I know that owlry thing.
Yeah.
It's a clever thing. She smashed all that as well.
Oh no!
Oh no, it's she rebuilt it after some effort. But that's what she was fighting, because she was entangled up in this fan, and the fan didn't stand a chance.
So the fan didn't make it then.
The fan didn't make it. So we went out and bought a new one. And the day after we bought a new one, the temperatures plummeted to -4, -5. So no use to it. You know. So that's the story of the fan.
Yeah.
I do not think Scott could be serious, but we like him like that. Thanks very much, Doc. You see what I mean? There you go. Somebody likes me, no see. I can't be serious.
Life's too short.
As oh dear. I think I should do the Lego. I need to see your sets. I think did I not send you the pictures?
I don't know.
I'll send you the pictures after this. I'm sure I sent the pictures, but she's doing quite well. They are bits and bobs. You know what I mean? I will send you a picture of my Lego collection in all its glory. Yeah. Anyway, so now you know the story of the fan.
Right, yeah. Poor fan.
So next time he's a hammer, stay away from fans. The thing was, he made it because I was sober. And have you, no offense, or say it, but have you ever heard two drunk women talk? That's all I'm saying, especially you're sitting there sober, you know, and it's like 3 in the morning, and you just want to go to your bed, don't you? You're like, and they're like this, let's have one more. It's always one more, isn't it? Let's have another one. So with that size. And then they'll add the lemonade after the glasses are that size, you know. Vodka, lemonade, wee dash. That's it. Anyway, so you did the big hotel. I just hit my horn off the table. The basement. I was saying that to Rick because we were talking about what was it, Waverley Hills we're talking about. And he was saying how big that is in the basement. I said, I would love to do a basement. We don't have anything like that down here. So, what's the script for the hotel?
Well, we were kind of called in. They'd had activity in the property, and basically at this time of year they're quiet. So they said, "Come in." So basically, it was almost the entire team went in. We split in two, and we just basically one started at the top, one started at the bottom, and we worked our way through the building. Obviously, we get into the areas the public don't get access to. So the basement, as I said, and I mean the basement was just a labyrinth, wasn't it, Barry? It was just
absolutely
huge.
Yeah, some of the floors were even still beaten earth, not concrete. Yeah, it was quite old. My group didn't find a great deal in the basement, but Liam, your group did. I don't know why that was. I think we were a bit rushed. We'd been there 4.5 hours, you know, and it was beginning to get a bit wearing.
Yeah. The
did a hotel basement on the first one ever felt the spooky active, everything going off, and an old coaching station.
Hotels have got so much energies in them because there's so many people go through them, and the place we had has been used as more than just a hotel, so it's got a really interesting history from that side of things as well. It was just we picked up on somebody we thought was actually hiding in the basement, trying to hide away from other people. You know, the basement it even had jail cells because at one point it was used what it was being used for. It needed cells. So it actually had cells as well. I mean, it just basically had everything, and it even had the room where you looked into this dark room, and there's a chair sitting, looking at the wall, at your proper horror, movie kind of look. It was just really, really spooky. But the hotel itself, you come upstairs, and obviously completely different atmosphere. And what was really interesting was the main staircase, because what had been reported was people being pushed off the staircase. And actually, they have video footage of somebody and they're flying off the staircase, basically. And while we didn't pick up, my group anyway, didn't pick up anything kind of meter-wise or on equipment, our more psychic kind of people picked up on a female. They picked up on the name Elizabeth. Then unconnected, Barry's group went there and they picked up on the same woman with the same name as well. So that was fascinating. The staff then told us that they'd actually seen what they thought was a black female figure kind of walk past that area in the past few weeks as well. So it kind of all added up, which was really good. We've still got a lot of stuff we're still in the middle of reviewing stuff. There's so much to review. But Barry's team didn't get anything in the basement. They went into another room, which we'd been in, and we got nothing. And you had a great time.
Oh yeah. Well, this was on the ground floor, one of the public rooms, and I had quite a nice conversation with this chap called Andrew, using the rods and balls. And although he didn't work there or live in the hotel, he lived in the area, but he liked to come in to the hotel to meet with his friends and play cards and have a dram or two. And he was quite accommodating. We got quite a lot out of him. He went off to the Great War, came back, and then emigrated to Canada. But he liked to come back to this hotel because that's where he was happy, where he enjoyed being. So he just stayed there most of the time. I'd like to go back and have another chat with him, actually, because he seemed quite a personable sort of fellow.
Mm-hmm.
He was fine.
Do you know if he passed away in Canada?
Yes, he did, but he still prefers to be in the hotel.
No, it's just Island saying hotels seem difficult. Some don't want to be associated with paranormal matters. Others welcome. That's true. Some tend to keep it under wraps.
Well, that's why this one's kind of under wraps. We can't say where we were. We can't publish photos, videos, or anything off the location for that very reason. So yeah, as I said, it's very much a private case, but. Absolutely fascinating. First group to get in there. It was a really, really interesting day.
Just with Barry was saying, this gentleman, he passed away in Canada, and obviously he's over here, up at the hotel. I've spoke to some people, and you say, "Oh no, spirits can't travel, across water, or if they pass over here, you'll not get them in America or wherever." But we picked up on a gentleman in Loudon-Kirk, which is in Ayrshire, and this gentleman was in the army, but he moved to America and he passed away in America. To what we know, he's buried in America, but his family are buried in Loudon, and we picked up on him in Loudon. But see, I've spoken to people who say, "Oh no, spirits they can't travel; they stay in their own country, basically."
Basically, he was coming home. If you see what I mean, although he went to Canada, he was coming home because that's where he wanted to be. That was the impression I had. Yeah. Yeah.
Small tale we did in Durham had a spirit of old boy that used to sit at the end of the bar, and he continues to do so in spirit. It's their happy places, the place that made most of them in this life, so it makes sense that they're going to want to return and, hang about or whatever. And just you were saying about somebody getting pushed, people getting pushed on the stairs. We had Willie and Cat Armstrong in last night, and I was telling we did Loudon, Farm at Loudon, I don't know, about a month and a half ago, and we were in one of the old barns, and I get pushed. It was on Facebook. We did it as a live on Facebook. Spirit has no boundaries. Time distance may not be an obstacle, as in life. Very true.
Yeah.
So we say to Willie came up with questions like that. Would you think, obviously spirit, they don't have any hands or anything, physical body. So how do you think they get the energy to push you? How much energy would it take to actually physically push somebody or touch somebody? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's a good question. It's a difficult one. I know I've been doing 14 years now, and I can probably count on one hand the kind of physical, where it's been a real physical moment where there's been a push, or at one point somebody's felt they were getting punched in the throat. It's quite rare. So I mean, from our point of view, I'd say it takes a lot, and it's quite rare. And I always say that to people. For something to take place, there has to be a lot of energy there. The woman we were talking with was a very angry woman. That's what the guys in my group were certainly picking up on, and it was almost like she'd been wronged in life there. Something had happened in that building when she was alive, and she was very angry about it. And but that said, when it came to pushing people down the stairs as well, there wasn't it's always men. She's not fussy. She's pushed members of staff as well, female members of staff as well. So she's not. It's not an isolated incident. It's happened more than once. We checked the stairs over and over to see whether or not there could be any reason for a loose floorboard or not quite level or whatever. But no, we couldn't find anything that would explain it logically as to why that would happen. But yeah, I think it just takes a heck of a lot of energy for them to do it.
Is it always the same spot on the stairs? A particular stair, or can it be anywhere?
In that case, I think it was always kind of around the same area, which then you go straight away, you start thinking, well, there's a logical explanation for this, but we couldn't find one on this case.
Yeah, I saw the video of this chap getting pushed backwards. His reaction was as if he had been pushed in the chest, rather than just lost his balance and toppled backwards. The way his shoulders went forward as his body went backward, it looked as though he had been pushed rather than just lost his footing. But Elizabeth is not a happy person.
She has. Comments up 2 seconds. I have been pushed, prodded here, pulled often. That's one thing. It's never happened to me anyway. And once I had to leave, was harmed physically in Bannockburn House. Laura's saying, "Are you talking about Sarah?" And I think Laura's referring to I'm talking about last weekend, when you and Sarah were on the sauce. Sarah was the top of the fan incident. As when you see, I get pushed in the barn at Loudon. I thought I tripped over it with marbles on the floor because the barn used to be the kids' play area as well. and we took marbles up months and months ago and left them there. But it turned out that I wasn't anywhere near the marbles, so I did get sort of physically pushed. And just as you were saying, Barry, about, you see people, you see their reaction. I know you get a lot of these programs that people say they're being pushed, but you can tell that they're faking it. You know.
This looked pretty genuine to me. The chap was toppling backwards. His feet were sort of virtually planted. His shoulders went forward as though he were being pushed in the chest. So it did look as though he had been pushed rather than just lost his footing, toppled. It looked pretty convincing, let's put it that way.
That's what I mean. You can tell when somebody's using that genuine. You can tell it was genuine rather than, somebody there. I just get pushed. Somebody just touched me and all that. That stuff you can tell when it's kind of genuine. So this lady, she could come under the kind of unfinished business scenario, do you think?
Yeah,
it's possible. Yeah.
We're obviously going to try and track her down.
Yeah, she's still looking for the right person to give a good shove.
Whoever. Do you think maybe you were saying, one team get nothing, the other team were quite active? Do you think maybe Caldwell? We took a team up to Caldwell ways, and we'd already been at Caldwell several times, but we took a team up to Caldwell and they did the stairwell. We went down in the basement, and after an hour we swapped over, and after that I went up and said, right, time up, we're going to change over. How do you go on? He said, we get nothing. 1 hour Teddy's moved slightly, but we get zilch. So we started, and more or less right away after we started, we were getting activity on the K2 and what have you. Do you think maybe the Spirit just preferred one group to another?
Oh, I think so. Yeah, I think that it can be the case. I've seen nights where one group will get nothing and the other group will be, active all night. You'll come to the end of the night, I'll go, well, that was rubbish tonight. And they'll go, no, it wasn't. It was brilliant. And I've had it the other way where, I go, that was a great night. What do you mean that was a great night? That was pretty dull. Nothing really happened for us. And it's like, so yeah. And I often thought as well, if you've got a building that's got one spirit, yet you've got two groups operating in it, how can that spirit be in two places at the same time? I don't think that's possible. I don't think that's possible. So, while this location had multiple spirits, by the looks of things, that again. But yeah, I think they definitely are. And I know, Scott, we've talked about it over again, the whole trust and getting to know you, and the more you go to a location, the more comfortable they seem to be as well. And we've had that. We do a location. It's at an old farmhouse, and I hadn't done it deliberately. Actually, it was only afterwards somebody said, "Oh, you put all the people who hadn't been before in the one group, and you put all the people who'd been before in the other group. So the group that had been there before got quite a bit of activity. The group that hadn't been." While they were sensing somebody was watching, or two individuals were watching them, they said it was from a distance. It was like they were checking them out.
Aye. They were sizing them up basically who you are, but we're going to watch you. I think it's a big part of investigating. I swear, Irene. Eileen. Nobody ever said Irene. Had been pushed on the place, Chillingham Castle, between Grey Hall and the Chapel, felt two hands on my back. Spirit may simply prefer some energies over the other. But I think it's a big part of investigating. I find it takes a few visits to gain trust and get communication with the Spirit. It does. We were doing Loudon for, I don't know, best part of a year maybe, something like that. And Loudon's only like 10 minutes for us, so it was a big travel, but it was the best part of a year before. We were getting activity. We always had the sense there was somebody down the back end of the cup. You really need to come down so you can do it. And with 3 or 4 other teams, Canwell were there as well, and everybody said the same. There's somebody down the back, and they're going back and forward, just in this one particular area. Maybe it was a 200-300 yard area, and the girls, none of them would go down the back end of the cut. And we just always felt that there was other individuals still wandering about, but we never really got anything till maybe about a year in. As you say, we've spoken of this before, Liam, and I think it's a big part of investigating to gain the trust of the spirits, and that way you're going to get more. You know, I'm not saying you're going to get tons and tons, but over time, you know, you can gradually maybe build up, and they do tend to remember you.
Yeah.
We also you can get a spirit who simply doesn't want to communicate with you. I mean, I had the one, Liam will remember this. One simply would not communicate with me, but he would with the other group because I reminded him of one of his teachers at school.
Oh, right.
So I don't know. You know, that was it. That's what the other group discovered when they spoke to this guy. And this spirit I had from a friend of mine who actually knew this. It was only a young man. I had the whole story corroborated by a friend of mine, completely separate from Highland Paranormal, and she said, "Oh, I knew him," and confirmed everything that was it, the make of car and the color and everything. Yeah, but he wouldn't speak to me because he thought I looked like one of his teachers at school.
Old headmaster or something.
Yeah.
But we've had other ones as well where they won't speak to females.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So you get strong male characters who refuse to speak to females. So Ruthven, for instance, now Claire, who's in our group, is very good with the rods. She can normally get communicate. She was getting nowhere, so Barry took over, and Barry addressed the soldier as a soldier, and it was fascinating what we got then. But we've had that a couple of times where either they don't want to speak to a male, or they don't want to speak to a female. So yeah, it is absolutely fascinating. And that one, Barry spoke with two separate individuals actually out with the group, confirmed everything that we picked up. You know,
It's
that's right. Yeah, absolutely. I had one particularly nasty individual. This was at Castle Fraser, and he was not a very nice person at all. And I told him off. You know, I said, "Look, you know, you're not a good person. I don't like you." He didn't seem to like me either, but that was because I was telling him the truth. But he had actually got one of the girls in the castle, not the family, but one of the servants. He got her pregnant and then had somebody poison her, murder her. And, you know, I got quite irate with him. And, he didn't like it. But I thought, well, I don't like you, pal. You know, I'm going to tell you what I think.
That's it. You know, comments. I'll stay your comments up a wee minute, folks. That's it, Barry. You know, sometimes I think if you're just honest with the spirit, you know, if they're giving you crap, for want of a better word, then I'm not saying you be disrespectful, but you just give them it back in a kind of respectful way. But I've got these comments up, and I want to come back to what Liam was saying about spirits might not talk to women, or they might not talk to men. Where did I get up to? Laura's comment: fascinating to know, even though you pass away somewhere else, you can still choose the way you go with your happiest. I definitely feel I'm being sussed out and watched in new locations at the start of the investigation. That's true, because spirit doesn't know you. So it's the same. It's the same in the physical. You know, if somebody comes into your work or something like that, who's that? You know, you're having a wee nosy. I had my bottom felt once, and I'll never forget. I was sitting in a chair just chatting. She did. We were at Alloway Kirk, and she was sitting as a camping chair, one of the camping chairs, the canvasy four chairs, sitting on one of them, and she just kind of, oh, that's what she did. It was quite funny. Oh, somebody squeezed her bum.
Quite a few of our female investigators over the years have been touched in appropriate areas. There was one actually at Touchwood House where on two separate occasions, two different females in the same kind of area got touched, which was kind of interesting in itself. So yeah, that was on the gallery, Barry. You'll remember the gallery there, and it was on the gallery there that two different, both had their bottoms touched. Yeah.
Well, you see, the thing is, I sat in the same chair for 3.5 hours. I was freezing. Nothing happened. I was gutted. Everybody else was away.
Clearly didn't fancy you, Scott.
I was sitting there myself. They all went home. I was sitting there in a camchair at 4 a.m. Seriously, what's up with that? I mean, I'm getting no bad wee bum, basically. Should I be mine? Nothing. Gutted. Laura, I thought it was on in your house. It was Sarah that brought the subject up, Laura, about the fan. So Lee, our beloved guest, he wanted to know. So you always accommodate your guests in a grass season, basically. You have to remember the ethics down the ages, how he's been so respectful states.
100%.
That's true. Just we were saying about spirits we talk to female. Do you think maybe you get spirits who won't talk to women? Do you think maybe that's because the time period they were maybe from, say, like the 1600s?
Yes.
Ronald back in the 1600s, women should be seen and not heard and all that bollocks, basically. Do you think maybe that these spirits, even though as present day to us, they're still going on their own kind of beliefs and stuff like that?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think, yeah. And when you think about as well, to a certain extent, how females' fashion has changed so much, what females wear today would shock somebody from the 16th century as well. So, that whole side. But the way women were persecuted and feared, and we've talked in the past, Scott, about the whole witchcraft side of things and the witch trials and things like that as well. And there was definitely at one point a seed was sown that women were evil, and women went from being, from what I know in history, from being in very powerful positions to when the church, as we know it, took control, they then decided that actually no, they wanted to turn this and ensure that men had all the power. So they basically started spinning the lies at that point, and that's where in reality that's where your witch trials and everything come from.
Right. No, exactly. I mean, if you went back to 1500s, Queen Elizabeth, Mary as well, and Mary Tudor as well, women. But then you get it 1600s, and it's totally changed around.
Yeah.
One prime example is you talk about Pendle, with the witch trials, whatever. Alice Nutter. One of the, she was never in court. She wasn't originally accused of being a witch. She was in court over a land dispute with Roger Knowles, who was the presiding judge at the trials. But this was unheard of, a woman being in court. And the fact is, she won her case. Yeah. And that's why she ended up at the gallows, because obviously Roger Knowles, it was a big hit to his ego, his pride. He wanted the land, and so he says, right, she's a witch. And, he coerced little Alice Device into her as well, and that was it, end of story. But it was unheard of, a woman being there in court. Wouldn't have happened. We need to. We do need to get back to Caldwell though. Whenever you can do, we need to take you to Caldwell as well. Caldwell's a long story with Caldwell, but it's one of these places that's really active, and there's a kind of mixture of spirits. So I mind Eileen telling us before apparently she was a witch in a previous life. So watch it. Do not upset Eileen. You know what I mean?
I wouldn't dare.
No.
I think it's amazing how, and then, you've seen some spirits will not talk to men. Do you think that's maybe, and it ties in with the men, the women being seen, not heard thing. Do you think maybe that's because the spirits are women and back then they weren't allowed to talk to men?
Yeah.
Could well be. Yeah. I've always, and that's actually a very good thought, because I tend to always go down the route of they were probably persecuted by a man in life, but actually in reality, probably 9 times out of 10 it was more like, you weren't allowed to speak unless you were spoken to. And we've certainly come across like Rake Castle, which we do in Nairnshire. It has the story, basically what happened there was a clan feud. The clan chief of the castle decided that he was going to invite the rival clan basically for a meal and then slaughter them. However, what he didn't count on was the fact that his daughter was in love with one of the sons or that from the other clan. She told him what was going to happen, so the slaughter happened the other way around, and the clan chief realizing his daughter had betrayed, chased her to the top of the castle. She's basically hanging out the tower. He chops off her hands. She falls to her death, and she's been there ever since. So the story goes. And when we go there, from a male point of view, we really struggle to get any connection with the female side. But on the male side, we do. And Barry had a really good interaction there as well. I think that was the first time, Barry, where you can actually visually pick stuff up. Yeah.
I saw, imagine a child using chalk to colour in something on the pavement. And that was basically what I saw. There was this is the clan chief. He was not tall. He was stocky, dark hair, dark beard, and he had he was wearing a red tartan, the old style, thrown over the shoulder. And it wasn't till afterwards checked the tartan of that particular clan and found it was red. And it was the first time I'd ever had anything like that. And I said there was one of the ladies, psychic, and I said, "Did you just give that to me?" I was wondering whether she'd somehow put that into my brain, and she said no. So why I got it, I don't know. But all I know is that it happened, But you say about addressing people as they were. Over on the west coast, there's a house we've been to. Am I allowed to say where it is, Liam? Over on the west coast of Lockhew. Pool House. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it was a public thing. And in one of the rooms, there's a guy, Sir Robert, who didn't actually live there. He lived just across the loch. But he popped up, and that's right. The medium who was there with us, she said, "This man's just come in, and he's trying to draw my energy." So I told him off, and I said, "You leave her alone. If you want to draw any energy, you try it on me, sir." And he was Sir Robert, someone, and I dressed him as a Victorian gentleman might. So I said, "Come on, sir, if you want to do anything, you come to me. don't show your cowardice by going to just to a woman, and that's stirred it up a bit, I'm afraid. But I don't hold with trying to bully women. So I just spoke as I found.
No, you're quite right. You was trying to bully the ladies, so you just challenged them, which you should. You're not being disrespectful. You just asked them to be a man, basically.
Well, as I say, I speak as I find. I won't hold back simply because I'm being too respectful to a spirit. I mean, they don't change as however long they've been in spirit. So you address the person that confronts you, and that's all I do, really. If they don't like it, well, hard luck.
I've gave a spirit any trouble before. As I'll come in 2 seconds, I have told in tale of new. I need your toenail clipping, Scott.
You're in trouble.
I am in bother now, I better watch my P's and Q's. I do not what I was.
I think I should. I do not know what I was.
I do not know what I was. Probably cheesemonger.
Yeah.
Blessed are the cheesemongers.
Yeah. Scott, that Lawrence being French has certain affection for cheese. So, rather than being a witch in a past life, she thinks she was probably.
Oh, right. She was a cheese. Right, right.
Yeah.
Possibly. I've got another comment for you. Stick up and say, but no, that in my old flat, there was a spirit, and he was always, as far as I know, it was the spirit. The guy that lived there previously passed away, but there was he was always moving stuff. My telly remote get moved, my keys get moved, my Buddhas get moved. There was bits and pieces always happened. But this one particular night, I was sitting watching a film. It's a Saturday night, and at the galley kitchen, which ran off the living room, there was no kitchen door, and I was engrossed in this film, and the bin lid came flying off, and I ended up losing it. I said, "Look, will you just pack it in? I'm trying to watch this film, and I can't hear it because you're making a noise, And after that, there was nothing. Nothing happened in the flat after that. I wasn't being disrespectful. I was basically just telling me, "Want to shut up till I watch my film, and then you can do what you want." Basically, I was once told off at Haynes Castle by James Hetler after calling him, but see, that would probably upset him. We called him by his first name.
Oh no. Treat them as you would at their time. You seem to get a better reaction. Whether you like the reaction or not is, of course, another thing.
Yeah, we've had that before. What Eileen's saying there, where we've kind of gone, "Oops, yeah, maybe we should actually call you sir," or and then we tend to get.
We have that again. I know I talk about Loudon a lot, but because of everything we've had, we have that with James Dempster, who was a prominent farmer in the area in the 1800s. And if you call him James, he'll not answer you. You need to call Mr. Dempster or Mr. James Dempster. Then you get a response, or sir. And then you tell, because this is also how he was titled back then. But if you say James, is that you, James? He does not answer. I was sure to address him as sir thereafter. I mean, it's a respect thing. I think it's a good way to build up their trust.
Well,
yeah, 100%.
And if you're calling somebody sir, then he's more likely to come forward and start giving you activity or whatever.
Yeah, That's right.
And
I enjoy talking to children. That's fun, because in my limited experience, children they're far more communicative. There's one at Touchwood, little girl called Sarah, who liked nursery rhymes, and while we were using the rods. Claire was using the rods, and I was talking to her. And I'd do a nursery rhyme, and all of a sudden she'd get one of the right hand rod to spin round very quickly because she enjoyed the nursery rhymes. And then I'd have to say, "Oh, come on, Claire, let's be serious for a minute." Not Claire, Sarah. Come on, Sarah, let's be serious for a minute. Can you tell me this, or do you know that? Do you know your numbers and things like that? But I spoke to her as you would. Oh, well, she was about 6, I think, about 6-year-old. So I spoke to her as a 6-year-old, and that seemed to work well. She'd been seen around the house. I was speaking to a couple of ladies who had seen her actually on the gallery, sort of peeking through the balustrade, looking down at the people in the hall. She had it was either a doll or a bear, sort of, which like kids do. She had by sort of one arm and was dragging it around with her. Little blonde-haired girl. That was nice. I'd love to go back and speak to her again.
You often wonder. You often what we get to right together in Scotland's no chance in that. I would ever you're out investigating Sarah and Laura's there. I don't seem to get any reaction. Folks just don't want to talk to me. They prefer Sarah and Laura. That happened at the Loudon Farm. I was bombed out, Barry is very good with children. But with children's spirits, do you sometimes wonder why they're still there? Is there something holding them back? I mean, look at the classic cases, Annie at Mary King's Close.
Yeah, Sarah wasn't. She wasn't unhappy. She was, almost playful, really. But she was just there. I couldn't work out why or how she was there, but she just popped up and wanted to play. Basically, wanted nursery rhymes. So we did establish that she didn't actually die there. But apart from that, as I said, I'd love to go back to that house and talk to her again. There's so much I'd like to know, but you get limited time, don't you?
That's the thing you do. You want, once you get a little bit, you want more. You want to find out more, and you want to keep.
That's right.
No pushing and pushing, but you want to try and learn as much as possible. And of course, as you say, Barry, you're limited for time sometimes, and spirit's limited to energy. Maybe they can only maybe last so long before they run out. For want of a better word, that's a technical term. Run out. Here's a question I'll try to ask you guys. I heard this on somebody else's show, and I thought that's an interesting question. Spirits in general, right? They've all passed on at some point, whether it was last year or 500 years ago. Do you think every spirit remembers how it felt to pass over?
Don't know.
Probably not. I don't know. Maybe some. I suppose it depends on the manner of their passing.
Yeah.
Look, it was a show. I can't remember the show I was watching, but one guy's answer was that basically, when they pass over, they just go to sleep. It's like being born. They go to sleep. They don't remember going to sleep, but they remember waking up. I think it was quite complicated, which kind of lost me a wee bit. They actually remembered it. There's a child there on the chat which remains were found under the floor in recent times, a victim of wicked abuse and murder. She's sad, but likes to play when she knows you. We will not know till that time. That was just one of these questions that you hear and it kind of sticks in your head, and you start to think, well, maybe we do, they do remember, or they just, some don't realise that they have passed on, that they are actually in spirit.
Well, that's the other thing, isn't it? Some don't appear to, and are re-talking to them in their time. So they're still in their time. But yeah, sometimes we do get the answers that they know that they've passed, but they're still here because they like to be there for whatever reason. I mean, we did another private case a few weeks ago in a pub in Inverness, and we picked up on a woman in there who we worked out had probably been there when it was a draper's shop. Was seemed to be what was coming back, and she was just happy there, going about what she did. She was still doing what she did back then. So that was interesting. We've had that before as well. Sometimes you get them in our meetings, will tell them they're not happy with you. They're trying to do their job, and we're getting in their way. So it's like that to me, that's fascinating as well, because that does suggest they obviously see us. We can see them. Well, sorry, we can't see them, but we're interacting with them. The mediums can see them, obviously, and we'll get hits on meters and things like that, and other activity. So it is interesting that sometimes it does seem to be that they're still in their own little time bubble, doing what they did when they were alive.
So here's another a couple of comments with Eileen and Laura stuck up in a minute. Here's a question for you, just popped into my head. So I don't know if it happens to you guys, but sometimes I just get these random questions that pop up, right? So say that lady worked in the draper shop, right? And she's still doing her thing, and she sees you as visitors, right? You're there investigating, and you've got all your gadgets, so your K2s and all your toys, and they're all lying about. Why does she not ask, what's all this stuff you brought into my shop?
Good question. Yeah, I mean, we normally explain what they are in simple terms. We don't go into, we're more aligned that we always think, they're probably more likely to be terrified of them, because especially if you're talking to somebody that hasn't, even going back to the 19th century, some of these gadgets will be a wee bit freaky. So we try to explain, and we'll actually go, we'll say, look, they're harmless, we just want you to come close and whatnot. But there's so many questions, isn't there, Scott? That's the
well, there is.
We just don't know the answers.
As I said to Carol last night, every answer creates another question. Now, time travel and parallel existence is a whole new topic. It is a whole new topic. I won't be doing it because I was thinking and I don't understand it.
But to go back to your question, I don't think. Well, do any of us remember being asked a question by a spirit? It doesn't happen.
No,
we were asked at Loudon, are you ghosts? We were asked at one of the investigations at the Kirkyard. Rosie Cardy was there as well with a partner, and we got asked, are you ghosts?
Yeah. What, from a spirit?
A spirit came out, I think Laura will tell you, but I think it came out the K2, are you ghosts?
Yeah. Well, I think that's quite rare. Do you reckon? I mean, it doesn't seem that we get that sort of reactions.
No, it's always it's always normally pretty much one way.
Yeah,
one way reaction, one way questioning and answering.
It was weird for two reasons. I'll say your comment on what you say, Laura. It was weird for 2 points I found. It might sound stupid, but I found it weird. One, we'd never been asked that before, And second, the use of the word ghosts. I mean, for the last so many decades, it's been spirits. The word spirit is more commonly used. But for them to come and say, are you ghosts? That kind of struck me. I don't know if that makes sense to you guys or no. to use the word ghosts rather than spirits.
Ghost would be the more common word used through the centuries, I suppose.
See, that's what I thought. But where are we getting that with somebody back in time?
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, there's a documented case with a French medium, and she was in, I think, a 12th century castle, and she basically said she could see a monk. The monk could see her, and he was freaking because basically he was saying, "You're a ghost. You're a ghost. You're a ghost." So he could see her. So that again, and that would be in line with what you got, Scott. Are you a ghost?
It was just a really weird question. I think, to my knowledge, it's the only time we've ever been asked something, but we were lucky enough to catch it on camera. So we were doing it as a live, so it was there on the camera. You're just back to horror comedy. That's weird. You said at one time, as we were going to Dalcahan, I had the vivid images of a fox in the car. As we investigated the house, Scott and I discovered the remains of a fox, which is true. We did, which was kind of weird. But then that's another question, isn't it? We've had spirits talking to each other about us picked up when we've had that as well. I don't know if you guys have had that. We've had it again, boys out loud. And every time I say, I was up at the farm, or we've sentences for them saying Scott was up at the house, or he was up at the house. I think, well, obviously they're talking amongst themselves. That's quite common at Loudon. It's only recently we've been getting that, but only in the last 6 months to a year we've been getting more than one spirit talking to each other. Whether you guys have used that before.
Maybe that's down. Yeah, maybe that's down to the familiarity, like we were saying earlier. If they are used to you, they sort of loosen up,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of any occasion where we've had multiple at the same time. We've had children singing. And that was early doors. That was our first investigation we picked up on. It was definitely more than one child singing. But other than that, I'm not sure we've actually picked up on, two spirits having a conversation at the same time. No, I don't think so.
We got to Caldwell as well. There was quite a few child spirits, but there was this woman who we called the matron, because she seemed that's the kind of sense we got off her. And there was another gentleman, and with a clear EVP of the gentleman was. I can't remember what the guy says, but the woman says to him, "Shh, they can see us." Obviously, we can't see them, but maybe in their mind, we can. But shh, they can see us. And so it was clearly two spirits. She was getting him into trouble, basically, for what we could gather, which I think fascinating. But
yeah, it's a great catch.
As you say, Barry, it might be down to the familiarity, but it's only recently at Loudon we've started getting more spirits. That night was weird because it was. See, Rosie Cardy was there, so she witnessed it all. But it was the first time, to my knowledge, that we were aware there was about 4 or 5 different spirits right beside us, and they were chatting, about us. It was really strange. It was in Jebra referred to Nicola as a woman with the white hair. They would get in their cars and go soon. I was referred to as Tommy's bitch. Right.
Oh,
yeah. Well, at least Nicola got a nice wee title. We have it in video. We need to have a wee scroll through. Yeah. We met up with Nicola. Unfortunately, Eileen was new well. We met up with Nicola in Edinburgh at Halloween, and we had a good wee night. It's a nice wee woman. So's Eileen. Eileen's salt of the earth. I'm thinking about that curse she's going to put on me. Eileen, a lovely lady.
Yeah, well, we met up Eileen and Tommy the other week, which was lovely. Lastminute.com, and had a great day. Nothing really paranormal, but it was great to finally catch up. And when we head south next year, we'll be catching up again, and with you, sir.
Aye, good save. That was a good save.
That's a diplomat in me.
You tell that was a last minute thought there, Barry, couldn't you?
What do they call it? A segue link. Yeah, very good.
I'm impressed.
Saved, well saved.
It's always good to hook up, though.
Yep.
I would love to have it down because I'd love to know what you make of Caldwell and Loudon. Just send you in and see what happens. See if you get any response, you know, and I'll see if you get ignored, basically, you know. But I just noticed the time. I did say an hour, but I ran over our time a wee bit. We usually always do, you know. We
Didn't feel like an hour.
I did feel it went quite quick, didn't it? You know, it did go in quite fast. So what's your plans for Christmas and New Year? I'm not going to ask for 2025. Don't want to give anything away, even though you're going to meet up with us, but shh.
Yeah. We're booked up into May next year, aren't we?
Yeah, we're doing another charity event down, well, this time in Oban, in April. Denali Castle and Museum. Never been there before. It's a new location. As far as I know, it's never been investigated. So that's a charity event. We're going back to Pool House the day. I think it's the day before the anniversary of the sinking of the Titanic. So there's a room in there that's got links to the Titanic and activity, which I think we've talked about before. So they said, guys, why don't you come down the closest Saturday to that date? So we're going down there to do that as well. So that'll be good. But yeah, our first real activity next year is going to be the road trip down to yourselves. And we're looking forward to that and just spending a bit of time having a wee look around Edinburgh as well and whatnot. And I know Eileen's got a location lined up for us, so really excited for that. Before that, we've got our Christmas team meal in a couple of weeks' time.
I'll be looking out for the pictures.
We'll be on the next series of Highland Cops.
Highland's most wanted, you know. I like to think it's much like The Lovely Bones. If you've not watched it, watch it. I think I've watched that. You choose when you're having, you choose who's there, and it's your having which interacts with others. I'm very right. Really, remind me of that one, Laura. I'll forget. But, no, we'll be heading up your way next year at some point.
Good.
For a wee bit of interference. I don't know. Can you hear that?
I'm hearing that. Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I don't think it's me. No, we'll be heading up your end next year as well with one of the episodes of the Wallace. 2 seconds. I'm going to. Hold on. Is it away?
Go. It's gone.
Is it me?
It's you. Yeah.
It's me. Oh no! Sorry about that.
That's fine.
I think that's the problem with StreamYard. Unless you're using a headset,
no, I'm not.
It can be a pain sometimes.
I don't understand all that.
I was on a live the other week, and I was echoing through the whole thing, and no idea what caused it.
Right. See, it's happened to us before when we Costas Mandalore for Saul and Sarah and Laura were on, and they took him off because there was too much echoing. Don't know what the hell it was.
But yeah, and
You are ghosts. You're correct, Scott. You are ghosts. Correct. You need to elaborate, Doll, I'm afraid. You are ghosts. You're correct, Scott. I don't know.
Correct.
I don't know about that one. Because one of our episodes of Wallace was going to take us up your end.
All right, cool.
So that'll be next year. We're going to next one's Falkirk, which we're filming next month, and then we're heading to Edinburgh way, and then we'll be heading up your way as well. Because we know there is ties up your end to Wallace. I'm waiting on Laura putting a comment up to see what she's talking about. You are ghost. You're correct, Scott. I don't have a clue. But no, so the echoing. I've been in a few shows and the echo is quite bad, and there's nothing you can do about it.
No. It was really bizarre. But yeah, so we got that. We got Christmas, and then we're actually out for a second Christmas meal because we've been invited by. We've been invited by a couple of guys called the Extreme Ghost Hunters who are based up here. They do their own kind of live YouTube. They've got the YouTube channel and things like that. We met them at HorrorCon, and they've invited us out for a bite to eat. So some of the team are going out to catch up with those guys as well. So it's great to link up with other groups. So we're looking forward to that.
It makes it sound so posh, Barry, doesn't it? A bite to eat. It's basically.
It's the Codder Tavern. It's posh.
Oh yeah, too right.
Yeah. It's no McDonald's. No.
I can't remember the last time I was out for Christmas dinner. Out at an actual restaurant. I mind one year company I used to work. Now, I've no offence to vegetarians. If there's any vegetarians watching, no offence. But I used to work. It was a vegetarian warehouse. It was one of these whole food warehouses, and they were having a Christmas night out, and it was in a restaurant in Glasgow. And so, I went and I was looking at the menu, and there was no meat on the menu at all. And I says to one of the folk there, and they says it's a vegetarian restaurant you're in. I was like, are you kidding me on? I said, with no turkey, no gammon, nothing, no steak. Not a thing. With couscous and tofu or all the rest of that. I'll go to McDonald's. I'll get you guys in the pub. I left. I went to McDonald's.
You don't get any meat at McDonald's now.
I mean, I was like, what the hell? What's tofu? Never heard it in my life. I've been Glasgow, fried tofu with couscous. It's that, I mean. It's Highland Paranormal on Christmas Day.
That's right, yeah.
If that's not a hint, I don't know what it's.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's a hint.
Hang on a minute. A witch and born on Christmas Day. Is that not a bit of a conflict?
Aye. There's an EV I picked up saying we were. The one with the ghosts, Laura, was when we were with Rosie and Andrea. They were up with, and that was in the Kirkyard. No, this is another one I've forgotten about. There's an EVP I picked up saying we were at the farm.
I
I've
don't
lost
know.
on that one. I've lost on that one. But we'll be keeping an eye out for the Highland news and all the rest of it.
Yeah. Try to behave yourselves.
If you go into hiding on the Black Isle, we know what you've been up to no good, basically, know what I mean? But I'll keep a hold of you just after we come off of that, all right? So, it is indeed when I'm good and very, very good when I'm bad. Don't need to know, Eileen. Keep that to yourself, my dear. Enough said. So where can people find you? Tell us where you are.
Highland Paranormal on Facebook, highlandparanormal.org on the web.
Is it good? Why is that not popping up? There it is. Night night, guys. Thanks. You're welcome, dog. Thanks for coming in. I'll talk to you soon. I did drop you an email about December, actually. So go and give them a look up, folks. They're a very genuine team and very popular, and they're very down to earth, and they do know their stuff. So regardless of Liam being a short guy, don't let that put you off.
And me.
Yeah.
And Barry, were you short as well?
Yeah. Vertically challenged.
More on the hobbits.
So I'm on a panel with two munchkins.
Hobbits.
So I'm the tallest guy here then. Is that what you're saying?
Probably, yeah.
I'm 5'6". Even though Sarah says I'm not. She says that I'm 5'5" and she's 5'6". So I've lost an inch somewhere. But that's a whole other show, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So, as I say, I'll keep a hold of these just after we come home. And so that's it for tonight, folks. So a big thanks to these two lovely gentlemen and to everybody in the chat. We hope you enjoyed it. We're back on Sunday night with Rosie Carney, actually. You too, dog. Thanks for coming in. Bye, Eileen. Great lady. I don't like cuss. Great. Salt of the earth, you know what I mean? So we'll see you on Sunday, and you'll see these other guys shortly as well. So take care, folks, and we'll see you later on. Bye. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.